Thank you for watching this video. My name is Jocelyn. I'm 46 years old. I have type 2 diabetes and was recently prescribed Mounjaro 5 milligrams by my endocrinologist. My goal in these videos is to provide insight, information, and inspiration for those who are also using Mounjaro or for those who are struggling to be healthier. In this video, I'm going to provide some advice for those who want to ask their doctor about getting prescribed Mounjaro, but maybe you're just a little stuck. So disclaimer, I am not a medical professional and the information I'm sharing is my own personal opinions and should not be considered medical advice or take the place of seeking medical advice from a licensed healthcare professional. The reason why I did this video was I was talking to a friend of mine and I had mentioned that I got prescribed Mounjaro. And she said, oh yeah, I'm real familiar with it. And I was like, dang, I'm not even real familiar. I've heard of Ozempic. That was it. I didn't have any other experience with any of the other drugs. And she said she asked her doctor for it. And she said her doctor told her no. Now, I only know one side of the story, and I have suggested more than once for her to switch her doctor. Not because of this, but because of other things. But this is not me telling you to switch your doctor. This doesn't mean you need to change your doctor if he's telling you no. But what I will provide is a way to prepare yourself for the doctor's visit so you can feel more empowered and maybe think about some alternatives if you don't feel you're being heard or something like that. First of all, I have over 30 years of experience in the healthcare system. I started going to the doctor regularly for my thyroid when I was 14. By the time I was 16, my parents signed a waiver allowing me to visit the doctor without their permission because I was underage. I've seen a variety of doctors throughout the years, and I also have a PhD in Health Services Administration. And I have learned through the years to have what is called a shared decision model, which means that the doctor takes into account the patient's beliefs, their desires, what's going on in their life, and combines them with their medical knowledge to come up with a healthcare plan, a medical treatment that best suits you. While I find most doctors do this, sometimes you do have to do a little work to be proactive. And here's are the things that I suggest you do. Number one, first thing, determine which drug you need. So we have 4, and there's other ones, but we're just going to talk about the more popular ones. We got Ozempic and Mounjaro, which are prescribed for people with type 2 diabetes. Then you have Wegovy. Then you have Wegovy and Zepbound, which are prescribed for people who are people who are obese or people who are overweight with a disease that could be better controlled if weight loss occurred, such as high blood pressure. So you need to figure out which one. If you got diabetes, Ozempic, Mounjaro. If you're obese or overweight with another illness, Wegovy or Zepbound. Now, does that mean that, and that has more to do with insurance and things and stuff like that. Can you have diabetes and prescribe Wegovy? Yeah, absolutely. Just depends on whatever your doctor decides to do. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to check your insurance to determine which ones are covered. Because even though I'm on Mounjaro, let's say they didn't cover Mounjaro and instead they covered Ozempic. Well, I wouldn't want to go to my doctor asking them for Mounjaro if Ozempic, which is used to treat diabetes, is the drug that's covered. And I know there's always this thought of why do we have a healthcare system, which in the United States at least, where the drug treatment is determined on the price and what's covered versus what's best for you, but that's a whole other conversation. Now, you can find out this information by logging into your insurance provider's website and looking up the coverage, or you can turn over the back of your insurance card or your prescription card, and there's usually a 1-800 number, a toll-free number to speak to someone who can help you out, and they can walk through those. I used to work for the largest private health insurance in the United States. So these individuals do get trained for a long time. So they really do understand that. But the more you understand, the better. And they can all talk to you about some other things. I'm not going to talk about prior authorization and things of that nature. That's a little bit past what we're going to talk about. Now that you find what's covered and what's not covered, if you find that the drug, let's say that they say, okay, well, we don't cover any weight loss drugs at all. It doesn't matter unless you have type 2 diabetes. We don't cover any of them. Now, that'll be your choice of whether or not you want to pay out of pocket. then you need to go and check the pricing of the drug at your pharmacist. Third thing, make your appointment. Now it's time to make your appointment. When you call, tell them, I want to speak to my doctor about prescribing me XYZ. Don't say, I'm doing a follow-up and I got some questions or I'm trying to lose weight. Tell them very specifically, right? These doctors, they're all know they're short on time. And if you're kind of wasting time kind of talking about some other stuff, it needs to be on the forefront. I want to talk to my doctor about prescribing XYZ. You may find like sometimes some doctors don't prescribe something. They don't have to, right? Their job is to do no harm with their oath that they take. Some doctors may say, I don't believe in the drug. I just found whatever, and they don't prescribe it. So it's like, don't even go to another one. Go to somebody else. But I really don't find that to be very common, but you just want to make sure that they know. And next, if you find this information helpful, I would appreciate if you hit the subscribe like button, please. All right, fourth, prepare your notes. Why do you think you need the drug? Now, if you have type 2 diabetes, that's pretty obvious. I want better control of my type 2 diabetes. That is pretty obvious. But in the other sense, be honest. You may want to go ahead and track your food and activity and blood sugar before you go. One of the things I've been binge watching is my 600-pound life with Dr. Now. And I'm always just surprised, or not surprised. I mean, I think we all do this, where there was like one guy who came back and he had gained like 150 pounds. And the wife and the stuff was like, I don't know what's going on. He's eating all the right foods. And he's like, come on, y'all. Really? He's like, you cannot be following this diet and gain 150 pounds in 3 months. So just be honest. Don't say, I don't eat nothing all day. Well, that's not good. And then why not binge on a pizza? And then don't tell them you binge on a medium pizza and you eat the whole pizza that night. If just call a spade. Just be honest and say, you know what? I just have trouble with controlling my eating. I've heard this drug helps to curb appetites. I have a hard time with controlling, for me, it was late cravings for sugar. Oh my gosh. I'd eat candy every single daggone night if I could. I'd eat candy all day long. Tootsie Rolls and Skittles and jelly beans and cinnamon things and cinnamon pears. Oh my gosh, let's stop that. I have not had candy. And I've not had candy since I've been on this drug. And I'm telling you, I got a sweet tooth like nobody else's. So you might want to do stuff like track your food and your activity and your blood sugar before you go. So they really get a good idea of what's going on. Now, even if it's, you might get lucky and they might say, hey, we got an appointment tomorrow. Hey, just track it that day or think about what you ate yesterday. But just be honest. The other thing is be forthcoming. Be a little bit vulnerable if you can. I was in a Facebook group. I'm in a Facebook group and somebody had posted a message and asked them, what do you hope to get out of this journey for yourself? And I was really surprised about the number of people that talked about the lifestyle challenges that it caused. A lot of times we'll talk about physical, being physically more healthy, being able to decrease my medications, those sort of things. Then I also talk about like the lifestyle that people had. I don't want to be on an airplane and have to ask for a seatbelt extender. I don't want to be somewhere and be afraid that I'm not going to fit into a seat. Those are important as well. And these things affect your lifestyle. And those things are important as well. So don't be afraid to talk about those life issues. The next thing I want you to do, also when you're preparing your notes, understand who may not be prescribed this drug. For example, history of thyroid cancer, some side effects. Watch as much videos as you can. Learn what others are doing. What are they talking about? What are the things that they're experiencing? And we'll talk a little bit about the side effects in a little bit in a second. The next one, which is number 5, go to the visit. All right. When the medical assistant asks you, what are you here for? I'm here to talk to my doctor about getting a prescription for Mounjaro or Wegovy or Ozempic or Zepbound. Just be very clear. up front. Because what happens is if you go in and they're kind of talking about other things, then you're kind of at the end, you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to talk about stuff. When I go to the doctor's office, it is this. I need this drug. It's this. I need this. I am like a checklist. We are very efficient because if I don't, I'll forget something, y'all. And have a list. Have it printed out with the things that you want to talk about. When you talk about the things you want to talk about, don't just rely solely on your memory. Have it written down so you can know exactly what it is that you're going to talk about and keep it on the forefront. Keep it on the forefront. Talk about it. Don't leave that room without talking about it. Number 6, be open-minded. Now, when I started on this, I was not very serious about my health for a long time. I'll admit I had suffered from a lot of depression for the last couple of years, a lot of losses. I lost like 6 people in 1 year, and it was, and my health took a toll. And so finally, November of last year, 2023, I was like, I'm ready to take my health seriously. And when I went to the doctor, it was like, are you taking your meds? Not really. How's your exercise? Not that good. How's your diet? Not that good. Yeah, I was completely honest. And we waited until we got the blood sugar levels back, the hemoglobin A1C, which was, I think it was like 11.5. Then she prescribed me, she had talked about Mounjaro, but I really didn't know what she was talking about. She was talking about injectable. I thought she was talking about insulin. And I was like, oh, geez, please do not put me on insulin. I'm really trying not to get on insulin. And, but she was actually talking about Mounjaro. But she said, let's try something else first, because one of the side effects that is very common is constipation. And you suffer from constipation. So I don't want to put you on something that's going to make something that you have worse. Now, 3 months afterwards, I went back. I went from 11.5 to like 8.5, somewhere around there. So 11 to 8. And then she put me on it. She went ahead and just put me on it. And that is true. I'm suffering from constipation and dealing with that right now. So they may tell you no. And if they do, follow up. I guess I just ain't gonna get it. No, ask them, well, why? Just like my friend, when she was told no, I don't remember what she said. I don't have as much knowledge about it as I do now. But knowing he did it because I remember he did it because she had some histories of something, her liver. That's what it was. It was something to do with her liver, and he didn't. Now, if knowing what I know now, I would probably suggest to her to go back and find some information about the effects of the drug on your liver and this particular illness that she has. And there's nothing, I can't remember what it is. Like, I remember that's what he was. And number one, go and find some research, right? Find some, not just some crazy person on YouTube who's, I swear, go find some research. If you don't know how to read empirical articles, that's so perfectly fine, just meaning like scientific journal articles. Go and find some reputable resources. There's some good stuff, FDA, CDC, good medical facilities, oftentimes Mayo Clinic, those sort of things that will have a lot of information. Don't just go to like, I want to lose weight and my liver is bad.com or something like that. So they may tell you no. What you then want to do is say, okay, like I said, go off and find out that information and see if that's true. And if maybe your research is finding something different, you might want to follow back up afterwards and say, well, this is what I found. Or even at that appointment, okay, I understand. What do you suggest instead? Don't get defensive, right? They may just don't get defensive. I need to go get this drug, blah, 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 blah. Just calm down. This drug ain't going nowhere. A month or 2 delay in getting it is, shoot, some stuff's on back order anyways. Some people can't even get the thing. So it's okay. Just, you want to make sure that you're doing stuff that is good for your health and is not going to harm you. And this is all that we want to do. We just want to we want to be healthy, right? The seventh thing, try what they say. So just like I said, she said, we're going to try this other medication first. All right, let's try this. Maybe you do bring in that food log and they say, well, you know what? Let's have you see a dietitian. Or maybe you might be overweight with hypertension, but it's like, man, you got 10 pounds to lose. You don't have 50, 60, 100 pounds to lose. I think maybe if we kind of get you on an exercise or a diet regimen, we may be able to see some results, right? So just whatever they have to say, let's give it a try. You only know what people say, what you read. Your doctor has a lot more medical knowledge than we all do. He or she is seeing results. They're seeing patients that are like you with similar medical history. They're seeing a lot more than what we are. They're going to conferences and they're getting medical material and they're going to CE classes, all kinds of stuff. So do have some trust in them. Okay. 8, get a second opinion. If you've kind of done everything and you're still not seeing results and you're not really satisfied, go get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with getting a second opinion. You may find that they confirm exactly what the first one said, or you may find that the second doctor actually disagrees with them. Now, when you get a second opinion, I want you to go to a medical professional. Don't just go to your friend down the road who runs a whatever. Go get a second medical opinion from a, a nurse practitioner, a physician assistant, a physician, or a medical doctor, or a doctor of osteopathic medicine. Okay. 9th, please, please, please don't get a compounded drug. It's been a lot. Not as much in the news, but I've seen more stuff on websites. For example, the FDA, this is from the FDA's website, has received adverse reports, event reports after patients use compounded semaglutide, which is the active ingredient in Ozempic. This is January 10th, 2024 from the FDA, and I'll link the website in the description. Patients should not use compounded drug if an approved drug is available to treat a patient. Okay, if the FDA is telling you not to do it, I'm going to listen to them, okay? I've heard all kinds of crazy stuff. Like people are like, I get it from China. I'm like, China? What? Oh, that's where it's made. You don't know where it's made, girl? Come on now. Quit telling tales. You don't know where it's made. Come on. I recently watched a video yesterday about a girl who got a B12 injection and something else in it and spent 3 months in the hospital. Okay, from some sort of infectant in the vial. That's what they think it is. Overdoses. CNN reported in December 2023 that poison centers are seeing nearly a 1,500% increase in calls related to injected weight loss drugs as people accidentally overdose. I usually don't do this, but there are don't do it. Just don't. Just don't. All right. So let me know what you think. What did I miss? Are there other things that you think one should consider when they're going to ask their doctor about their getting a prescription for any of these injectable drugs? Knowledge is power. Being very confident in yourself, coming in with that list. I think that's the most important thing. Then you're not going to get all nervous and stuff. This is you. This is your health. This is your priority. Make it your priority like I started to do in November. Don't ignore it for 5 years and get off track and trying to get back on it. And we're going to be all right. All right. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.